Hi. In today's conversation, I'd like to share a few things about the different types of medical writing tests that are given. So there are basically five types of test which are given based on my experience, and I've actually created some nicknames for these five types of tests. So I'd like to share with you these different nicknames and then describe what these tests involve. The first one is what I like to call as a summary test, which basically means to read an article, which could be a scientific paper or a clinical paper, and to summarize it. Sometimes it could be a larger review article, a scientific article, which needs to be summarized. There are a few variants to the summary test, which is dependent on which audience you're speaking to. Sometimes the directions for completing the summary test would say, summarize this article for a general audience, or it might say, summarize the article for a medical audience. So that's something to pay attention to, who the audience is. The second type of test is a slide deck test, which is to look at a paragraph or to look at a clinical paper and to present that information in the form of a slide deck. More often than not, these are not extensive slide decks. It's about it can be anywhere from 4 to maybe 10 slides in length in total, which would include the title slide and perhaps a reference slide at the end. The third type of test is a table test, which is to look at some information in a portion of a regulatory document or a portion of a clinical paper and to put that information in the form of a table. This can go the other way as well, where you might be presented with a table and asked to summarize that information in the form of an abstract, which would encapsulate the important takeaway messages and the important aspects of the data which is captured in that table. The fourth type of test is an editing test, where you're given an article or a rough draft of something which needs to go out in a newsletter, or perhaps the manuscript, the first draft of a manuscript which is being submitted to a journal, and you're asked to make edits. The edits need to be both scientific as well as edits which pay close attention to grammar, syntax, sentence structure, and so on. And the fifth type of test is a combination test, which is a combination of two or three different things. And I've received a few of these as well in my job search process, where I open up my inbox and I see a zip folder with a lot of documents in it. And there are instructions saying, use this document to create a summary, use the second document to create a short slide deck, maybe 3 or 4 slides, edit the third document, and then use the fourth document to create a table. So the combination test, it takes a little longer, and usually the turnaround time for a combination test can be anywhere from 7 to 10 days. But those kinds of tests also exist. This, of course, is not a comprehensive list. I'm only giving you types of tests which either I have encountered or which I have come across based on my conversations with other medical writers. If you come across something which I haven't covered, please let me know. Let's keep this conversation going. So until next time, all the best.